How's it going, YouTube? We're going to be making a quick video on this white car right here. Basically, this thing's a 97 GTP. I bought it at my famous scrapyard. It's a parts car. It ran and drove, but they cut the cat out, and as you might be able to see, the body has had better days. So we'll take a nice look around here. The lights are out of it currently. Those will go back in, but this is the second oldest Grand Prix I've got out here, and it's actually pretty good. So you can see all the rust down there and up here. I'm sure you could fix it if you really wanted to, but I don't have the time and I need the parts for my cars, specifically my white SE, my 99 that I drive daily, and the 2000 GTP, which needs parts. And this thing has a 12 CD changer in the trunk, as well as an aftermarket stereo and the supercharged engine. And I don't know how different this car is engine wise in terms of the 2000, but basically I'll just take the block if I have to and go from there. So this has been a little rat rotted recently. So basically I need the back bumper from this, and the front bumper will come off too. Those are both good. The trunk lid I'll probably try and save, even though it's got a big dent up here, right here, if you can see it, but that's not a big deal. That can come right out. And the doors will probably come off there. The front door will be for my white SE. I'll run over and show it to you guys here. But then the hood is, I was going to use, but it's got some major denting right here. And that's about it. I mean, the fenders are rusted pretty good, and that's a shame. I really wanted to use those for something else, but that's okay. You can always find more. And then this door, the driver or passenger front door, will go to the 2000 GTP, and I'll show you that too. We'll walk around both cars, all the white cars today. So this thing's got a tan interior and shaky doors. I don't know how well you can see that in the sun, but basically it is a shitbox. So, but it does move. There's no speakers in the car, believe it or not. I guess someone took their sound system before they put it in the junkyard. So let's walk over to the big old GTP 2000, and we'll go from there. I'm trying to keep the camera steady, but it's harder than it looks. So I know my videos are really loud. I have no way of editing the sound currently. I just kind of slap these on YouTube unedited, so I'm sorry in advance for any of you users who have your volume all the way up and you have to hear my loud, dumb voice. So here is the 2000 GTP. As you can see, I put a stuffed animal in there. All your cars have to have fuzzy dice and stuffed animals. You can't convince me otherwise. So the plan with this car, and I think I've talked about it before, is I'm going to build this up to a nice GTP, probably a sleeper build. I'm thinking I want to go turbo with it, but that's both a lot of money, and currently with the push for electric, which I'm not a huge fan of out here, I might not get that chance. So we'll just start with upgrading the transmission, which is in the trunk. This car has no motor. They blew it up at the yard. But I'll redo the transmission with nice ZZP hardened parts. That way, even if I never get to it, I always have the option to go about 600 horsepower or more, which I don't know what I'd do with that kind of horsepower, but it'd be cool. So, but this car, like I said, blown motor, the transmission's in the trunk. I'm stepping on all the curly things. There's a fuel tank. So this door has a little bit of denting right there. It's salvageable. I don't see why I couldn't use it, but if I have the door, why the hell not? So, and both fenders will need to get replaced. The hood probably needs to get replaced. There's some denting on the back fender, which will easily pull out with one of those dent puller tools, so I'm not worried about that. But basically, the rocker panels are rusty, and that is it. They had this thing up in the air when I went to get it about 2 years ago, and it was just rust free on the bottom. It just sat after they blew the motor, so that was cool. I'm really happy about that. So, but my plan is, when I get jack stands for it, I got to buy 4 jack stands. We will lift the car up onto jack stands. I'll probably ratchet them down. We have a windbreak back here, so I'm not worried about wind knocking this car over, short of a tornado at least. But then I'll start with the back, and I'll redo suspension and brake lines and electrical lines and rotors, bearings, suspension, put the fuel tank back in there, run the fuel tank wires and lines up to the engine bay, and once all that's done, I'll set it down on tires, and we'll work towards the front. So I'll clean out the trunk, reline it, get it sealed up nice, put the back bumper on. If I can get the back bumper off without destroying it, I will, and I'll leave that one on there. And it's not hard to do that, especially in this condition. And then I will slowly work forward, and we'll probably do the doors. I got to roll up that window and put the interior, just clean that out. I got to get a door panel for that far door in the back. It's all dusty and dingy, but that cleans up. It cleans up nicely, so there's no worry about that. It's all leather interior. It's a black interior. I'll show it to you. And I got the door trim down here, or the rocker trim, so I was happy to have that. So, and here it is. So I don't know if this was aftermarket or not, but someone had painted the front dash plate, and I think it's pretty cool. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to paint the center column insert on the top white as well, just to go with the accent, but we'll see. So, and for the most part, the interior is in pretty good condition. Even the seats are pretty nice for this old car, so I hope it stays that way. That is the number that I pulled it out of the yard. You can probably see me. So, and we'll go around to the other side. It's got the sunroof, heads-up display, as they all have. I don't think I've ever seen a GTP that doesn't have a heads-up display or a sunroof. So, then this side's pretty good. Even this front fender could probably be saved, which is good. I don't want to spend more money on this than I have to, because parts are getting up there. Even the fenders, they used to be $50 unpainted, but now they're like $130. So that's kind of a shame. I wish I would have bought those before, they went up in price. So, and that's the plan with this thing. We'll probably make it a solid runner, starting off, just to get with, get to know it, because I'll show you the engine bay. It's in parts. This thing is bare bones. This thing is coming up from scratch. Oh, you can hear the compressor. So, here's what I'm dealing with. There's nothing in there besides the brakes and electrical, and I will be going through those and just making sure everything's good. I got to replace the battery terminals. One of them's broken, like they all seem to do. I get the reservoir for the windshield wiping fluid done. That's not a big deal. That's pretty easy. I think I'm going to replace the master cylinder there. You can see it's got rust. And we'll put the, after the transmission rebuild, we will put the tray that holds both the engine and transmission back in with the transmission. And I'll probably just install the motor out here if I don't get it rebuilt inside somewhere. So that's basically what the plan is with this thing. I'm actually really excited. This is a good project. You basically start from scratch. The car will probably run just fine, and boom, project done. So really excited. It also makes for a good hiding spot when the engine's not out here. But as for the front bumper, and I know maybe some of you Grand Prix guys might give me some hell for it, but I'm putting that 97 through 2000 SE specific front bumper where the two grills are down on where the license plate would be. I'll show it to you when I walk over to my other white car. But I like that one more for driving. It makes the car inconspicuous, even with dual exhaust. So I might even go so far as to put the SE specific back bumper on it too, if I can find one in white. Otherwise I'll just have one painted. So, and we'll have to see what happens, but I might even paint the grills white when I build this one. I don't know. That's just something I've been thinking about. So alright, well, that's enough of this car for, well, I better I think the mileage on it was 150,000. Let's take a look. Here's the driver's seat. It is 160,000, so it's a pretty young car, especially after sitting for so long. So I'll take you around the back just to be thorough. So, oh yeah, the bumper is fine. Alright, that makes me feel much better. So, and I know it's kind of taboo, but I don't like badging on my cars. Like the Grand Prix back here is fine, but I'm not gonna put GTP emblems on here. In fact, the two doors, I'm gonna pull the emblems off, and that way I like a sleeper build. I like no one knowing what's under the hood, and that's pretty much it. So I'm just stoked. I know I don't sound like it, but it's cold out, my ears are freezing. But I am stoked to get working on this car. So hopefully sometime soon. I just need to get the jack stands mainly, and then I can just start doing it piece by piece. So we'll head over to the Naughtiac now, my main car I drive, which is just the most bare bones Grand Prix ever. It's got a 3.1, 15-inch tires, so nothing special, but the car is really reliable. Even though it's got a 3.1, it gets me from point A to point B. It's been doing so for about 5 years, and that's all that matters to me. And I give that car a lot of parts, try and keep it running, and it runs good. It's got a little bit of a coolant leak now, but we're good there. So yeehaw, it's a long walk. And who knows, I might cut this out, but it's starting to get really damn cold. So there is the white car. I won't go too close, but it's just got license plates and whatnot. But if you can see, the front door where that dark spot is at the bottom, right above there is a piece of white flex tape. You know, flex tape solves everything, so that's what makes it fun. But besides that, it needs rocker panels again and a front fender. It got creased. So that is the story on the white cars. Team White, I guess. So have a good one.